Hello, my name is Mackenzie and I'm autistic and ADHDer, and this is my YouTube channel, Autistic Musings. On my channel, I spread autism awareness by sharing my own experience as an autistic person, by defining autistic terms, and by giving unique solutions to uniquely autistic problems. Today, I will be discussing how everyone can better help autistic children thrive in school and in education. I asked teachers, parents, and autistic people in order to create this episode, and I hope you all find it helpful, the information I've gathered. But it's really just the tip of the iceberg for how we can help autistic children. Hello. Welcome back, all of my returning viewers, and to all my new ones, welcome to you too. I'm glad you clicked on my channel. I have been gone for a little bit and taken a break from videos. I got a little overwhelmed with my aggressive video making schedule, and I will now only be releasing one video a month to not get so stressed out. I hope it will improve the quality of my videos and my mental health and well-being. Just saying. Anyway, today's episode is about how we can better help autistic children to thrive in education and in school. And I tackled this one over the course of the last 2 months and asked parents, teachers, and autistic people how to do this, because so many of us have had poor experiences in school and education, and it is just a wonderful, important topic to speak about and to gather information about. I decided to make this video because an extended family member who is a teacher asked me, because she got told I was autistic and knew, and opened up the conversation. I was very open, and she was very curious how she could better help her children in her classroom that are neurodivergent to thrive and to grow. And this is, again, a wonderful topic to talk about. And this is what I came up with. This is a combination, again, from multiple people and my own experience. The first thing we're going to talk about is an quiet area to calm down. I and many other autistic people get deeply overwhelmed by the environments in school. It's very loud, there's lots of kids, and then there's this recess break time. I personally was undiagnosed during my entire education, and I was constantly, whenever I was given a break or anything, trying to find an empty classroom, any empty classroom to hide in, to find a quiet area to escape the overstimulating sensory environment. And I did this very routinely. I think only every once in a while I'd actually go out and attempt to socialize with my peers. I would consistently try to find this area to calm down in, and many other autistic people experience a similar overwhelm in these environments with lots of other children and everything. So an area that's quiet, isolated, and a child can go to voluntarily, never as a punishment. But the knowledge that would have helped me in school is that I had an area to go to calm down, and that I could always go to it and escape the overstimulation. This would have helped my anxiety that I had, and also emotionally regulate easier, because many autistic people need isolation, so to speak, from the sensory overwhelm to emotionally regulate, and it is a part of their needs that need to be met. So this area to calm down, to relax sensory wise, and it is just for this person or for autistic students. Now, next one on my list is routine. Very important to most autistic people, their routine. Not every autistic person, but a lot. For a change in routine with a child in school, it should always be told to the autistic child that there's going to be a change in routine. Now, mind you, that even with this change in the routine, it would be good to be more patient and more understanding this day if there's a change in the routine towards the child, because even I, as an adult, when there's a change in the routine, still get pretty emotionally upset. And I have coping skills and the ability to handle my emotions better than a child would. So some grace would be great for that child and understanding. And why do we get so upset at changing the routine? Like I just said, like the environment of school is very loud and overstimulating for our senses. And there's so many other challenges socially, communication-wise, and it's very stressful. So the routine can be probably the only thing that's constant in this environment, and I cling to it, and many other autistic people do, as something that is soothing and consistent and we can depend on. So warning a child that there's going to be a change, whether it's a fire drill, an announcement, a change in the daily schedule, anything of any kind, warning would be great. So next thing that I want to mention that across the board was mentioned by teachers, by parents, by autistic people, is everyone would love for there to be more training for people that are working with autistic children and teachers in general for neurodivergent children, for there to be more training and for autistic people to be deeply involved with the training. I often hear educators that feel as though they could have done so much better for so many children had they had more contact with autistic people, autistic adults, in the process of their training. And there are so many educators that ask so many autistic adults' opinion because they value our perspective on issues with children and they want the children to thrive. Having autistic people deeply involved with teachers training and anything in between, any type of training, would just be a huge benefit to autistic children and the education system. Putting that out there, I heard that across the board. That's really important. I'll mention another super important one, which will really help autistic children thrive. Now, next one that I got on my list that I did a Instagram live with a bunch of other people on Instagram. You can go to my Instagram. It's just Mackenzie Gobert. You can find it on my link in a tree and on the link below. But anyway, I did a live with Taffy. You can find her on Instagram _TaffyB_again. She gave some amazing suggestions that to put in this video that I just valued so much. She is a parent of an autistic son who is deeply involved in the her school and advocating for autistic children and parents and autistic people in general. I'm very glad to have met her. And she gave one thing that she would really like to see change in the education system is that for most educational facilities and schools and stuff, they have an assessment done by an occupational therapist for to look around for recommendations to change in the school to be more accessible for disabled people. And they do this for mostly physical disabilities. What she wanted to see was a change made for an occupational therapist and to not only look for physical disability recommendations for neurodivergent students, so autistic children She would love for an assessment to be done on schools to make them more accessible for neurodivergent and autistic students. And this was an amazing thing that I had to put in this video. I'd love to talk about IEPs, but I'm trying to make this like a manageable video to watch. Another video, another. Another thing that she suggested that I thought would have been great for me in school was this. If you can request for your child to be allowed to be dropped off last and picked up first to avoid the crowd of just an onslaught of sensory overwhelm when we're getting out and getting into school, that would really help. I really liked her recommendation there. Another thing that I see a lot of parents talking about, and a lot of autistic people too, is teaching skills that not only meet our sensory needs, because we'll often have sensory play that's being put into education and that type of thing. Not only this type of thing to meet our needs, but incorporating skills that empower autistic children and help them grow as just people. One example is that Taffy not only does, there's typically a Play-Doh for sensory play, but she incorporates baking into that sensory play activity to empower her son. And I thought this was an excellent example of how to teach real-world skills as well as meeting sensory needs. Now, last, but I think is pretty much one of the most important aspects, is I really think it's important, not just in education, but outside of the education, the actual autistic child. I really think it's important to have them be part of a community, so to speak. Often, many autistic kids have trouble connecting with their peers, and it's really not a surprise why we have so much trouble. It's really hard for people of different neurotypes, a non-autistic person and an autistic person, to connect on a deep understanding. You have to do more work. And one way to facilitate this for the autistic child is to have, even if it's outside of school, inside of school, to have a community of disabled children, autistic children, neurodivergent children. Having that connection with other neurodivergent individuals is so very helpful for that child to thrive, because it gives them a community, a support system, a network for them to be supported for their mental health, which often autistic people can struggle with. I can say for myself, I didn't experience the sense of community and the sense of understanding until well into adulthood. And it could have helped me so much in school to have this, to have community, to have people that I feel connected with. I went undiagnosed, but many diagnosed children experience the same thing. And I think it's the most important aspect of this video, is that every human needs to feel connected to other humans. And if nothing else, if there's no other change, other autistic people need to feel connected to other autistic people at large. To see adults, autistic adults, doing amazing things, being mentored, creating that community and that connection, not only for the kids, but for the parents as well. And I think this makes a tremendous difference in everyone's mental health in the family and how we grow and thrive. I think it makes an amazing difference. Now, that is my conclusion and the end of this video. I really hope something in this video stood out to you. If you can think of anything else that you would really like to see change in any education system to help autistic people thrive, autistic children, neurodivergent children to thrive, I would love to hear in the comments below, whether you're an educator, a parent, an autistic person. I would love to hear your opinion and your perspective, and I hope this helps somebody. And I hope to make more videos on this topic, because I would love for autistic children to have better experiences than I did in school. And I really hope to see change in the future. Now, I hope to see you next week on Autistic Musings. Bye.